Hello and welcome to the Angerati studio. We are joined now by Charel Hakkert, who's the head of trading at Eneco. I hope I've got that right. But anyway, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to be here. And before we start discussing the theme that we're going to discuss, and I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, can you just tell us a little bit about you so that it kind of informs some of the answers that we might get from you as well.
Okay. Now, my name is Charel Hakkert. I'm the head of trading within Eneco. Eneco is a Dutch utility, roughly 2 million customers, and it's already 10 years focused on a renewable strategy. So basically anything we do is focused on getting the world decentral, sustainable, together. That's where we are. And my role is within the trading team to manage all the exposures resulting from the business that we do as a company.
Okay, so that tees us up quite nicely in the piece that I want to discuss, which is around renewables.
Yes.
How we integrate that energy source into our market system and so on. And as you mentioned, you've been doing it for 10 years.
Yes.
So to start off with, I mean, what are some of the lessons from within Eneco that you could share with others, where you could say, well, here's how not to do it?
It depends. I mean, I'm on the trade floor, so
Right.
basically I manage the financial exposures.
Yeah.
And
That must be hard, right?
basically the message is manage your exposures well, because if you don't, you can get hurt very badly. Yeah. So one example, for example, within my company is we get some long-term exposures in. So basically, our company is exposed to long-term electricity prices. If the power price goes down and you're into some long-term commitment and you don't do anything, you're not going to be very happy. So that forced us to take all kind of actions to do that kind of stuff. So the main message is know your position and manage it well from a trading perspective.
And with the, everybody's talking, I mean, when I look through the agenda here at HEMA, almost every other session is like integration of renewables, integration of renewables, integration of renewables.
Yes.
What is the role of the trading side of things?
That's the thing, because I get questions about should subsidies hurt it and stuff like that. My job is to, when they're there, when they're built, to integrate them in the market. So if you see what our trading company does, is to make sure that basically we fulfill the role of balancing responsible. So we just need to make sure that we balance our supply and demand broadly, and on the same side manage the financial exposures right.
So when you integrate the renewable energy sources, and again let's talk about the subsidies versus non-subsidies and so on.
Yeah.
There is a firm belief that the renewable energy needs to be integrated or move towards a non-subsidized integration model.
Yes.
So how far are we from a non-subsidized integration model?
I think it depends on the type of renewable that you talk about. I think solar isn't that far away. Wind, it's not. Basically, it's not my cup of tea. So
Yeah.
like,
Is the issue with wind, it's actually much more unpredictable. It's much less predictable than solar. At least with solar, there's some sort of broad predictability in terms of some sort of bell curve. I mean, you can get clouds and stuff like that. But
no, it's I think on the yearly scale, solar is less risky because it's the yearly production is quite stable. For wind, those risks are bigger. But if you look from a forecasting perspective, solar is three-dimensional. So basically, you need to forecast all the clouds on all heights. So predicting that on short term is quite difficult as well. With wind, what I experience, and also solar, is that the increased use of technology and real-time steering is really helping us last 5 years getting better integrating it. So 5 years ago, we only looked at day ahead for the wind. Basically, we sold it, that was it. Now we scan real time all the weather data. We get our real time feeds in from all the production plants and we know the status. So it's the feedback cycle.
And it seems to me that the more and more we link this up and computerize it, I mean, it's, you know, to the uninitiated, when you talk about trading, it's someone manually pressing a button saying, I'm going to buy this, and whatever. But
it's becoming less and less.
That's not the case anymore, right?
It's like I also stated in my presentation, it's becoming more and more technology oriented. So basically, where in the old days you had a trader, now you have a computer doing the trading and you have a smart guy sitting behind it programming the computer basically. And the function of the guy looking at the screen is more like some process operator rule. Check if everything goes well.
Yeah, it's like a command and control role rather than I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And so is the technology alone, you know, that advancement, is that going to solve the integration of renewables? I mean,
it depends on which time scale.
Are the conference organizers just behind the curve and they keep putting this stuff in because everybody else is?
No, it depends how you look at it. I mean, if you look at the real time, yes, it will. Yeah, because we get so in control. Everybody knows the drill. We'll be able to do something sensible on the day ahead. The further out you go, the bigger the risks become, and the more it becomes your subsidy story, basically. Yeah.
Because it seems to me that actually the answer is to get really, really good in the real-time piece, because that's almost what you know, or day ahead you can go.
To us, it's
5 days.
It's not only the real-time piece; it's also the stochastic piece. So basically, you want to know, if you know the uncertainty, you also know what you're up to, basically. Yeah.
And sort of as we're coming to the end of our time, again, we're focusing on solar because you mentioned your issues with wind and so on. In terms of that solar market, then, do you think we're actually at the tipping point of being able to accelerate that? So we can say that, okay, we can take on a lot more now because we've learned so much, and the market is. Do you see where I'm getting to with the question?
If you look at the Dutch market, the penetration is relatively low, especially if you compare it to Germany. So for my local market, the answer is definitely yes. A lot more, way more.
How much do you think it can go to?
In Holland? Depends on which time scale.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. In the short term?
In the short term, in Holland, you can easily absorb percentages like in Germany, of course. Yeah.
Right.
Easily.
So very
because
significant.
That has already been done.
Yeah. So very significant. Charel, thank you for taking the time. I want to give you one last word though. Again with the market trading and so on. What is the one thing that is still kind of keeps you up at night and is the thing that we need to kind of sort out within this environment?
To be honest?
Yeah.
I sleep very well because I trust things will be okay. I don't see any hurdles on the road.
Well, that's a great note to leave it on, because you can always come at it from a negative point of view. But
definitely not. No, we're going to fix it. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Charel. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you as well for watching this interview. Very much enjoyed doing it. Gives you an insight into some of the challenges and actually how technology is just coming in and taking over the role of how we deal with that. So thanks again for watching.
Okay.